Welcome to Megaton. Enjoy your stay.
Fallout 3 came out at a really good time. It was a really great year for video games in 2008, and it was also a game that was going to be really exciting for fans of original Fallout games 1 and 2 because it was now entering into the 3D world, and it now had, you could walk around and shoot guns and aim and stuff. And what's really cool is the guns that have got scopes on them. You can actually aim down in the scope and target your enemies that way. So this game had a lot going for it. A lot of people were excited for it, and it ended up being really successful. I just don't have the equipment to fight this thing. I'm running. I need to save my ammo. Let's see if I can get the head. Okay, that did not work. I'm running. So Fallout 3 was a really great game and it came at a really good time and ended up being really popular. I did not get to enjoy or experience that release window. I didn't play Fallout 3 until I'd already played, I believe, Skyrim and Fallout 4. So, based on those experiences, Fallout 3 just did not really have a place. Um, it just did not have the same kind of pull and draw to me that it would have had before I had experienced those two other games. So, something that really bothers me about this game when I'm playing it, and is like with the other guns that don't have a scope, it doesn't, you don't aim down sights. And unless your gun is in like perfect condition, it cannot aim perfectly. So your shots are always off target. So I'll just aim at this thing right here. So your shots don't go where the crosshair is. So you have to go into VATS every time you're fighting something, and that just kind of, if that's what you have to do in order to be successful when you're fighting an enemy, that's just, I mean, that's an RPG mechanic. Yes, the percentages and chance of attack, like, that's kind of a cool thing, but as far as fun factor coming from a game like Fallout 4 where the shooter mechanics were really good and improved upon, it just made it harder to enjoy Fallout 3. So Fallout New Vegas, I haven't played that for very long. I've played it for maybe 5 hours on Xbox. I made it to the actual city of New Vegas. So I played a few quests, and there was also a vault that I found, overgrown with a lot of plants. It was pretty cool. It had plant monsters and stuff. So there was a lot to enjoy with the time that I did play Fallout New Vegas, like the fact that you could aim down sights and stuff. But I kind of feel like the story for Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are better than Fallout New Vegas. From what I know about the story of Fallout New Vegas, that game is only liked by dorks, people who, like Caesar's Legion or, side with the NCR. I don't know. I don't really know the factions in that game. I just know that if you're a racist if you like Caesar's Legion, I guess. I don't know. But I guess a lot of people wouldn't side with them if they realize, that there's slavery and racism and all that with the Caesar's Legion. But I don't know. I like the DLCs for Fallout 4. You could join the raiders and you could actually kill the militia people, because as far as the story in that game, they were really annoying because they would keep giving you radiant quests, and the whole idea was to build settlements for settlers. And um, I don't know, it just became really annoying. A lot, like, the public perception in that game was that that was an annoying faction. So when the Raiders DLC came out, that was like a response to public feedback and said, okay, fine, you want to play as a bad guy? Go ahead. And so they gave a DLC where you could literally kill the militia faction. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, it was a cool DLC because you got to, you know, interact with raiders and not have them shoot you immediately, and you got to have really cool gear and like rusted out weapons and guns and stuff. So that was kind of cool. But oh boy, I'm gonna die. I need to go the other way. But Bethesda, the developers, they were giving in to the public in that way, and I didn't really like that. I liked the DLC. I liked what it added to the game, but when you sit back and think about it, you kind of realize that Bethesda was just giving the fans what they wanted. With the Far Harbor DLC, they were giving more choices and how to deal with everything because people didn't like in Fallout 4 main story. There were like two or three main endings, and basically it was the ending was kill such and such faction, and that's the ending of it. And you can never really side against the militia. You always had to side with them. So that when Far Harbor came out, they were responding to that, and they said, "Okay, well, fine, you can kill whichever one of the factions you want and win the game, or win the DLC, like beat the DLC pretty much. Like you could side with any faction." That was Far Harbor. Um, and then Nuka World came out, and that was basically saying, "Okay, well, now you can kill the militia faction." In the original game. So really Bethesda just gave in too much to their fans, and that's kind of where the Fallout 4 DLCs failed. As much as fun as they might have been, but I don't really know about the Fallout 3 DLCs. I know the one I did play was the one where you have to deal with the baby somehow. That was a really interesting DLC. I liked the saw weapon you get from that. I still have that, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I can't equip it because it's destroyed. I need to repair it, but I don't have any other man openers, so I can't repair it. But Fallout New Vegas is basically a DLC for Fallout 3 because it came out a year later. It's got all the same textures, bugs, and problems, and the only thing they changed was made it so you could aim down sights with guns that don't have scopes. So really, Fallout New Vegas is a DLC, and as far as what I know about that game, it just is not really that good, and it's only liked by fanboys of the Obsidian developers. But really, Bethesda's is the big boys on the block, and they're the ones that, when they put out Fallout 4, they basically put the smackdown on Obsidian and said, "No, your game's not canon." But I guess it is canon because with the TV show, they they're going to New Vegas in season 2. Spoilers, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I guess it is canon, but I don't know. Obsidian have lost their way. They're not the same company they were when they released New Vegas, so whatever you liked about New Vegas is not really being brought forward into their new games, and they're not really having the same success they were before. People are excited for maybe Outer Worlds 2, but it's just going to be the same slop that Outer Worlds 1 was, where it's just anti-corporation, power back to the people, blah 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 blah, anti-capitalism. But yeah, Outer Worlds sucked. Avowed sucked. Outer Worlds 2 is gonna suck, and Fallout New Vegas was their first failure. So yeah, there's a spicy take for you. Hopefully you made it to the end of the video to get that one.